Fractions. Wow, let's buy some kites for the flying competition in town from the shop. Yes, let's buy blue kites. Blue is my lucky color. What part of the kites are blue in color? They are of 1/4, 1/3, 1/5 and 1/8 blue. 2 by 3. 2 is a smaller number than 3. Therefore, this fraction has a smaller numerator and a greater denominator. Therefore, it is a proper fraction. The fraction 4, 6 by 8. 4 is a whole number and 6 by 8 is a proper fraction.
Construction of solid figures from the net. Cube, cuboid, a cylinder, cone.
Inflate the two balloons until they are equal in size. Tie them together. Attach a piece of string to each balloons. Then attach the other end of each of the strings to the opposite ends of the stick. Adjust the position of the balloons on the stick so that the stick becomes horizontal. Prick one of the balloons to allow air to escape. The stick tilts as the air in one balloon leaks out and the balloon becomes lighter.
Let's conduct an experiment to show that air has weight. Place one empty balloon on each side of the balance. You can see that the weight of both the balloons are same. Now fill air in one balloon and place it in the balance. You can see that it has tilted slightly. What does this prove? This proves that air has weight.
There are three different types of fractions. They are proper fractions, improper fractions and mixed fractions.
This is one chapati. If I were to fold it and break it into two equal pieces like this, then each piece of chapati is 1/2 of the full chapati. This is a hexagon. If we break it into two pieces, each is half or 1/2. This is an example of a fraction. Let's see now how fractions can be looked at when we add pieces to one another. We have an equilateral triangle here. This is 1. When we add one more triangle to this, then each triangle becomes 1/2 of the total shape.
Extraction. Extraction is used to separate two insoluble liquids. Example, water and oil. This is done with the help of a separating funnel. Take some sugar and sand, mix them. Take water and add to the mixture. Water helps to dissolve the sugar. Then pour the mixture through a filter. The sand is separated from the sugar water. This method is called extraction.
Steps of construction. Step 1. Draw any line segment XY. Step 3. With M as a center and a radius of 5 cm, draw an arc cutting MZ at A.
which is a green, leaf-like structure that protects the budding flower. Style is the slender, neck-like portion of the carpel that leads to the ovary. If a flower contains all the four main parts, it is called as a complete flower.
Step 1. We have to construct triangle ABC for the given measurement. Step number 4. Now you have to join P and Q. Look very carefully here. PQ bisects PC and it is perpendicular to BC. The circle passes through the vertices A, B and C of the triangle.
Graphing inverse variation. Unlike the graph of direct variation, the graph of inverse variation is not linear. Rather, it is a hyperbola. xy is equal to 1. To calculate the constant of variation from a graph of inverse variation, simply pick a point and multiply its two coordinates.
The source is 12 volts AC. This is a 10 ampere circuit. And the third switch is also on. Now it is 3.5 plus 3.5 plus 3, 10 amperes. It has reached the maximum point. If we switch on one more switch, it results in overload. The fuse wire becomes red, it melts, and the circuit is broken.
Let's study about Galilean telescope. Galileo is credited to being the first person to use a telescope to make observations of the night sky. The main parts of astronomical telescope are objective lens, eyepiece, and telescope tube.
The difference between organic and inorganic compounds are listed below. Let's see. What is the difference do you notice here? Organic compounds use mostly covalent bonding. Inorganic compounds mostly use ionic bonding. Why does carbon form so many compounds, and how does it form so many compounds? Carbon has the ability to bond with itself to form long chains and ring structures. Hence, it can form molecules that contain from 1 to number of carbon atoms.
Plane of the board as shown here. One end of the coil is connected to the terminal T2 and the other end is connected to the terminal T2'. Connect a battery between these two terminals. Draw a white circle on the board and pass the current. Compass needles deflect and align in a circular path around the conductor. Why do the iron filings get aligned in a particular pattern? The iron particles get magnetized by the magnetic field created by the electric current flowing in the coil.
Then we can see that the faster the movement of the magnetic field, the greater will be the induced EMF or voltage in the coil. So, for Faraday's law to hold true, there must be relative motion or movement between the coil and the magnetic field, and either the magnetic field, the coil, or both can move.
The middle layer is called choroid. It is richly supplied with blood vessels and provides nourishment to the eye. Retina. The retina is the third layer of the eye. It contains the nerve cells that respond to light. These specialized cells are called photoreceptors.
Sometimes we are required to find the height of a tower, tree, building and distance of a ship from lighthouse, width of a river, etc. Angles of elevation are measured up from the horizontal. Angles of depression are measured down from the horizontal.
Gender. We have 4 genders in English. They are as follows: masculine gender, feminine gender, common gender, and neuter gender. Masculine gender: prince, author, tiger, father, hero, if it refers to a female member of a species. For example, woman, lioness, peahen, queen.
A sentence and its parts. This is the tale of Mr. Morton. Mr. Morton is who? He is the subject of our tale, and the predicate says what Mr. Morton must do. The subject is a noun. That's a person, place, or thing. It's who or what the sentence is about, and the predicate is the verb. That's the action word, and that gets the subject up and out. Note, there can be no indirect object without a direct object. Underline the subject in the following sentences. The inspector returned to the police station. Here, inspector is the subject. Sheila came first in the race. Sheila is the subject again. Identify the parts of the sentences highlighted in orange in the given sentence. Suddenly, I saw a shadow on the wall. Shadow is the direct object.
Today we'll read the story of the different duckling. Every day the mother duck would lead her ducklings to the river for a swim. Although the different looking duckling swam better than the rest, he was unhappy.
Draw a circle on any radius on a colored paper. Now you have to place the replica of angle APB on the right angle DEF such that BP falls on EF. Angle in the minus segment is obtuse. School remains closed for 21 days. I have cut out 20 equilateral triangles here. Pure water is poor conductor of electricity. This experiment proves that pure water is a poor conductor of electricity. The solar system consists of the sun, planets, satellites, meteors, meteoroids, asteroids and comets. So about all these heavenly bodies today we will study in this solar system. Now what is sun? Sun is a part of a solar system, which is the main part of the solar system. It is the brightest star that we have in our solar system. In this picture you can see, children, this is Mars and this is Jupiter. As I told you, between the orbit of Mars and Jupiter there are few heavenly bodies or small rocky bodies. These small rocky bodies are nothing but the asteroids.
Transpiration is the process by which plants release water into the atmosphere. Mineral nutrients and water are absorbed through the soil by the plants during this process. Water is transpired through the leaves, and this process of evaporation of water generates a suction pull which pulls the water to great heights.
Detection of food adulteration. Let us do an very simple activity. Take 5 grams of soji or rava and sprinkle it on water. The sand particles and grit sinks while soji floats. This indicates presence of adulteration.